Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of Nain's Shorts. We talk about training. Martial arts being a big part of my life. Rick's, I don't know if it's a big part of Rick's life, to be honest. He just does it. And he's an alright teacher. The point is that we constantly do it and get better, but as we go along, we come across some students, some with great potential, some with less potential, but we do our best to educate each one as far as they're willing to take their training to. And then, whatever happens in life happens. Some stay, some go, some come back. It's just the way that it is. And recently, a conversation came up with my daughter. For those of you who know, she trains with us. She's one of our top students in what we do, the Blade of Mine Ronin. And this idea of comparing, rather, leading to the what is my goal question, what am I trying to accomplish sort of thing. And really, that's to each their own. I can only speak for myself in reference to why I still train. And originally, I started because I didn't want to be afraid walking down the street anymore. I wanted to feel more confident, but more importantly, I wanted to be able to protect my then babies and my wife. I wanted to be able to protect myself. And that was a big motivator for me to start training, start making healthier choices, start exercising, all these things culminating in the idea that I wanted to be a better protector for my family. And that drove me to finding these guys and started training. And then something else happened. The bug bit me, as it's often referred to. And now I can't see myself not training, not teaching, not having martial arts as a part of my life, because that's just how much I enjoy it. It's definitely given me a lot of benefits overall, not just the skill sets, but the mentality and the emotional growth that has come on this journey. So it definitely has had a lot of positive influence in my life, and I definitely advocate it as well. But is it really the martial arts that does it? Is it the training that does it? Is it being able to protect yourself that does it? Or is it just the confidence that you build being able to do something and see your own growth, being able to have this backdrop to say, I started off down here and I really sucked. I've been doing it for X amount of time and now I'm a lot better. Is it just that focus on something that you can improve on a regular basis and actually see some sort of metric to be able to compare, oh, I used to be this way, now I'm over here. I'm doing a lot better. And maybe that's where the confidence comes in, and that's what people are looking for, which would mean that martial arts isn't the only way that people can do that. There are other focuses, other disciplines that they can choose to do and get better at and improve in similar ways, at least mentally and emotionally. Now, on the other side, do I believe people need a certain degree of self-protection? Absolutely. I definitely think that everyone should have at least some understanding on how to protect themselves and make better choices in high-stress situations. Now, is that mean that everyone should? Maybe, maybe not. That's a whole different topic altogether. And the reason this came up was because we tell our students that they're going to move how they're going to move. In other words, don't compare yourself to what the other person is doing because you're not them. But that doesn't mean that you can't use somebody like your instructor as a goal. One of my goals early on after I started training was to beat Rick. That is a genuine goal that I had. I was going to beat Rick and then I was going to beat Danny. The point was to get so good that I could beat my instructor and then his instructor. Has that happened? No. It might never happen. But he's getting older and older, so I'm holding out for that one injury that's going to put him down, and then I'm definitely going to beat him. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. But it is something we joke about often. And the reason behind it is because that was something that I was truly driving for. And in case with my daughter, she wanted to know, well, what is she trying to accomplish? And again, that's hard for an instructor to answer on your behalf. Now, we have ideas on where we think you should go, and we have suggestions. We see potential and how much that potential can drive you forward and how good of a practitioner you can become because we see where that is going. But ultimately, it's to the individual to decide whether or not they want to put in that effort. Someone like me was practicing 4 to 5 times a week outside of class. Was I doing it right? No, I was messing up left and right, but I was doing something that we can work off of later. Does everyone do that? No, some people are just so well attuned that they can go to class, improve, and that improvement carries with them to the next class. Most of the time, though, you can tell when somebody didn't practice, when somebody isn't putting the effort forward, because you see how they're doing now versus when they learned whatever they did in the last class. And it's hard as an instructor to see that and not feel like you should do something or say something. But again, if it falls on deaf ears, is it really worth it? Doesn't matter. I mean, all these things as an instructor really have popped up. Like, could I have done more? What could I say? What could I do? But again, being able to let go and give these people, these students, the ability to make that choice for themselves and being okay with them, not resenting them for, hey, they're done with the class, they're done with training, and that's okay. Same time, you put a lot of effort and energy into their growth, and to see them go, it does hurt a little. How much that pain is going to affect you, well, that's, again, on you. How far or how much it's going to do to you, that's how you deal with that situation. Right or wrong, I'm not here to say. I'm just saying that there is something that happens inside that, well, hurts a little when a student leaves. And Nisa, being my daughter, well, that's kind of adding an added second degree of pressure there, because she's not just a student, she's also my child. So even if she leaves class, she's still going to see me around because, well, dad is kind of part of your life until dad, takes his final breath, which hopefully is going to be many, many years from now. But it's one of those situations where there's really no handbook, and you have to play it by ear to see, can you motivate them? Can you keep them motivated? Can they motivate themselves more than anything to continue doing it? And is their reason for continuing to do it good enough to keep them there? Because when she started, when I wanted her to start training, she didn't want to. And I didn't push it too much. I suggested it, I brought it up, and she was like, no, no, no. But as a father, I definitely want her to be able to protect herself, because I can't be around 24 hours a day, which means teaching her how to protect herself is the next best thing. So I was always very adamant that she is to be trained, whether by me or by Rick or some other instructor that I happen to meet along the way. The thing about it is that how I motivated her to make that choice was saying, if you want to have the kind of social life where you're hanging out with your friends without adult supervision, then you definitely need to take some sort of self-defense course or some training before that can become a reality. She took it in stride and definitely was a big motivator for her to start training with us. Eventually, she started enjoying it. She started seeing her growth. She started enjoying the class. Having other people her age in the class with her definitely helped in maintaining that. A bit of loss of focus, definitely, because kids, they're teenagers. Teenage girls, yeah, they lose focus. But the point is that it kept her going, and she has seen improvement. Now, what other goals are there? Because what it seems to be is that as you achieve one goal, you need other goals to kind of replace them so you can keep going. Otherwise, you kind of lose interest in what you're doing. And this is where we are in the conversation with her. And I'm sharing this with you because I'm not 100% sure how to have this conversation with my child in reference to something that I feel is very important to her. Has she improved? Definitely. Is she to a point where she could defend herself from most situations? Maybe, maybe not. But I definitely know that if she doesn't continue training, well, those skills are going to dull. Those skills may even go away. And the mentality might still be there, but the body might not be able to keep up with what she wants or it needs to do in a situation to keep herself safe. So this is the things that I'm weighing out, and these are the things that I'm now thinking about of where do I go with this conversation. And I'm sure as instructors, you guys have dealt with similar situations, similar moments, students leaving, reasons behind it, feeling some sort of way because they have. And I would love to hear from you. Like, how have you dealt with it? How have you managed it? Because this is where I find myself now, and I am going to continue teaching. So I'm sure I'm going to find myself in a similar situation in the future. Just a thought. These are the things that are running through my head that I don't know how you guys have gone through it. I've seen so many examples of it. I've seen people who have left schools for years, and then they come back and they thank the instructor for all the lessons and things like that, and they have still a good relationship. I've seen people leave and instructors getting so upset with them that they excommunicate them from the entire system, and so many other dramatic moments that have happened because of this, and everything in between. Oh yeah, I used to take martial arts way back when. Oh yeah, my instructor was so and so, and there's no bad blood, nothing wrong, but nothing else was continued. Nothing replaced their training. They just stopped doing it. So you hear it from all sides. You see all the examples. I find myself in one specific one, and I'm sure you guys have many, many more. But it's definitely something to think about in reference to how do we then, or how much can we actually do to affect somebody's motivation? Because ultimately it's on them to do it. It's their reasons, their cause, their motivation to keep going and keep training and refine what it is that you're giving to them. Beyond that, I don't know how much influence we really have on that, and it's sort of difficult to let that go. So I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to get better, but that's why I keep training, because I want to keep improving. I want to keep seeing how far I can take this for me and no one else. And these are the things that are coming up now in that journey. But can't wait to hear from you guys, see what you guys have to say, because it would be very helpful to me, to be quite honest. But thank you for joining me on another one of Nain Shorts. Once again, I'd like to remind you that November 15th in Manteca, the VEA Martial Arts Collaborative is coming up. So please make time for that. Reach out to Mike Cardenas if you want more information on the specifics of who's going to be there and what time it starts and all that. But I hope to see you guys there. And until the next one, 3, 2, 1, cut!